Why kosh hutwith, why kai shaklai hutwith. Bring me the good things in life is a prayer shared up and down the coast. And it's a good teaching. And it's something that has to be shown and practiced. We have mixed feelings as Inqʊiił people about Canada's 150th birthday and what that means to us. And it's hard for us because we reflect back on our recent history. In the last 150 years hasn't necessarily been an easy time for us. But at the same time, if you look at the good in things, we're still here. And we still celebrate the good things in life.
The CBT board started talking about Canada's 150th anniversary last year. And the board, as you heard today, recognized that it's an important moment for Canada, but it isn't necessarily a time of celebration for many of our residents. And as a UNESCO designated site, we see a link between healing and reconciliation and the UNESCO mandate to build peace in the minds of men and women.
We were sitting at that table and they announced the funding for Community Foundations of Canada and the 150th. I had to mention that not all Indigenous people celebrate Canada Day. It really became, how can we as a region or as Indigenous people that are involved with CBT, how can we participate and fully support the process or the project that's going on?
And how wonderful that we're using Canada 150 funding to bring us together not on Canada Day, but a day that we chose as communities to celebrate how we live together and what reconciliation means to us.
At the CBT, we are not event planners, and so we'd never done an event of this scale before. And we really needed a lot of advice and guidance from folks in the region who do have that experience, and really thankful that they stepped in to help support us.
Yeah, so we used a committee that was comprised of interested community members and Leadership Vancouver Island alumni, which within that group, it was a mix of Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. And there was lots of key points that they said, hey, we don't want this to happen. We don't want this to happen. And a lot of times that didn't meet the criteria that was maybe put upon me, but I just stuck true to the guns and I listened to the committee about what they wanted for the event.
So they asked the warriors to help us and to have a big fire with 30 fish around the fire, so I think they did really well. And I thought we cooked for 600, but then I heard it was up to 900 people, so it was, yeah, lots of people that day.
I believe it created a lot more awareness on what it is to be a First Nations person. There's a lot of tradition and culture in everything.
I think having all of us coming together, all the different personalities, the different groups, pulling together and saying, what do we want for our region? And I think that perspective became very, very important for the gathering, and I think very successful in terms of doing that.
The House of Council is in the process of finalizing a protocol agreement with the Tofino Council. In there I say to the mayor, how can we reconcile with each other? A protocol is a piece of paper. It can give some guidelines, but the real act is how we live and treat each other.
All of the spokespeople that stood on the stage and represented their different communities, including inqʊiił and Tofino, the words, their stories that they shared was each different, but there was similar themes throughout. And I think that from this point, we can go forward in a different way with a different understanding as to how do we work together here in the region.